Hey there YouTube, this is Card Bros Forever. I'm LightgamerAmaterasu, and here I'm bringing you a deck profile of my Legend World Asgard deck. Of course, my flag is the Legend World flag, and my buddy, Iceblade Joker. For size zeros, we have 4 Iceblade Jokers. Iceblade Joker, he's 3 gauge to call, 6,000 attack, 2 crit, 3,000 defense. You know, pretty good for a size 0, although that call cost is pretty high. His ability, though, when he's discarded from the hand, you may pay 1 gauge to call him back to your field from the drop zone. You know, so that gives you a size 0, a really good size 0, a status size 0, to go along with your size 3s. Then we have 3 Loki the Air Guys. Loki the Air Guys, when he's placed on the field, you can choose a card from on any side of the field and remove the soul. So, you know, it kills Seeger, Infinite Cradle, Talika, etc. He has 3,000 attack, 0 crit, but that 3,000 attack can get over some stuff, which is really good. You link attack him with another monster, so, you know, your opponent possibly can't +3/+3 counterattack. 2 Valkyrie All-Knowing Avalwall. When she's on your field, cards that you cast with Great Spell in her name cannot be nullified, so you know that's pretty great for the Ragnarok combo deck. My deck currently is Ragnarok combo, but I'll change it to a more discard heavy deck. And when she's discarded from the hand, you may place the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw 1 card. So on discard, she essentially gives you a +1. For size 1, we have 4 Stallion of the Divine King Sleipnir. Sleipnir all around is just a good defensive card. Say if your opponent wants to activate like Roaring Slash Gargantua or like Radiant Punisher, etc. You can call Sleipnir to the center. They can't cast it, as you have a monster in the center. And it's after the battle, or it could be like during the end of the battle phase. For size 2s, we have 3 Corpse Walrus of Raise Velgar. On call, you can discard 1 card from your hand to draw 1 card. So if you discard an Iceblade Joker, you know, that gives you a size 0 and you just draw 1 card. Raise Velgar has 6,000 defense, so you know, it also makes a pretty good tank. Well, then we have 3 Flame Giant Surters. Surtur is kind of like Raise Velgar, but once per turn, his is once per turn. You can discard 1 card from your hand to deal 1 damage to your opponent. So, you know, combo with Iceblade Joker, you know, pretty good. On the size 3s, I have 2 Demon Wolf Fenrir's, 10,000 attack, 6 crit, 7,000 defense. He's 5 gauge to call, which is, you know, a pretty hefty call cost, but it is 6 crit. When he's called to the field by the his second ability is he's unaffected by the effects of Gleipnir. We'll get to Gleipnir in a while. Then we have 3 Iceblade Astral Kus. Iceblade Astral Kus, he is 4 gauge to call, 10,000 attack, 4 crit, 10,000 defense. When he's discarded from the hand, you can pay 2 gauge to call him from your drop zone to the field. So that gives you a 4 crit, 10,000 defense wall. And that screws up opponents a lot. On the spells, I run 2 Horn of Demise Yallarhorn. You can pay 1 gauge to search your deck for up to 1 Great Spell, Fimbulwinter, and add it to your hand. Now, the Japanese version of this card has that effect, but also, if you're a primary school student, you may add an additional Great Spell Ragnarok to your hand. It was pretty funny when it was first revealed. 3 Great Spell Fimbulwinter. Great Spell Fimbulwinter is a set spell. When you activate it, you put the top 2 cards of your deck into its soul. At the beginning of your turn, you place 1 soul from it to your drop zone. When this card's soul hits 0, you draw 1 card. You know, combo with Loki the Air Guys, that's an immediate draw. 3 Great Spell Ragnarok. It is 2. Well, first off, to even cast the card, you have to have a Fimbulwinter on your field with no soul. You pay 3 gauge and 2 life. Destroy all cards on everybody's field, including items and everything. Nullify all abilities of monsters on your field, so stuff like Ultimate Card Burn and Gold Ritter won't be affected by Ragnarok. And you discard all cards from your hand, which, you can also combo that with Iceblade Joker and Iceblade Astral Coos. 1 symbol guard. I'm planning on running more symbol guards. If you have a Brethren guard, or you can only cast this card if you have 6 or less life. If you have a Brethren guard in your drop zone, you can cast this card without paying its call cost, or cast cost. Its cast cost is just 1 gauge. You draw 2 cards. 1 Oswira guard. I also plan on running probably 1 more of this, but Oswira guard, it's like Double Stigma. Its cast cost is you put a monster from your field to your drop zone, counter, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and you draw 1 card. So it's like Valkyrie. Two Gleipnirs. Gleipnir is a set spell. Its cast cost is putting a size 3 monster from your drop zone into its soul. When this card is destroyed, you may call this monster in its soul to your field without paying its call cost, but it cannot attack. Now, if you put Fenrir into its soul and you Ragnarok, this card is destroyed, but the effect will still go off. So you can call Fenrir for free. You have a 6 crit monster that can attack on that turn, since Fenrir's effect says that it cannot. It's unaffected by Gleipnir. 3 Brethren guards. Brethren guard is 2 gauge to call, counter. It can nullify an opponent's spell, or it can destroy one of your own spells. So, if you don't want to Ragnarok, you can still activate this to destroy Gleipnir. 4 Holy Grails. Of course, Holy Grail is your nullifier card, so your attack nullifier card, so Then 3 Damage Control. Damage Control is a set spell, counter. During your turn, or during your opponent's turn, you can discard a card from your hand. If you do, the next damage you would take is reduced by 2. So, you can drop Iceblade Astral Coos and get that wall, while, reducing the amount of damage you take from 1 attack. Now, if the card you discarded is a Battle Deity Robo, it's reduced by 4, but we don't run any of those. Then, finally, for item, we run 4 Rune Staff. Even in a discard heavy Asgard deck, I might still run this because it's a good gauge engine. Its equip cost is 1 gauge, 0 attack, 0 crit, so it's not offensive in the slightest. But you can rest this card to get a gauge, which is really good. And also, you don't have to pay the life of a great spell card. So if you cast Great Spell Ragnarok while you have this equipped, you only have to pay the 3 gauge. Yep, that's all for this deck profile. I'll see you in the next video.